So, hello, I am Ron. This is TimeSplitters 2. I've just got to do a few things before we start. Input a good file name. And then I've got to change a couple of settings on my new file quickly. I don't know why there's no game sound. Just let me check that real quick. It says it should be on. Hopefully it plays when I'm actually in the levels, because otherwise that's going to be a bit awkward, but I'll figure it out. Anyway, so I'm ready to give a countdown. I'm going to go from 5 and then start when I say go. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, well I was going to be using live split, but my timer didn't start, so I'm not going to worry about that. Anyway, so this is TimeSplitters 2. If you are a long-term watcher of this game, or sorry, a long-term watcher of this marathon, you'll be very aware of this game, because this is now the 6th time I've played this 4-speed stuff for charity. Last year I put on probably my weakest showing of this game. I kind of didn't take it seriously, and I was kind of ashamed afterwards, so I'm hoping that this is going to be like the run back where I achieve a good time. Okay, we've got game music. I was worried about that. Okay, so the first thing I do there is I kill that guy because he gets in the way and I need to pick up his pistol, and he's on the way to picking up these mines which are in here. And then I want to blow up this dish by throwing one up there, and then I'm going to switch back to the pistol to get this guy out of the way. That's optimal movement. Then there's going to be another guy up these stairs around this next corner, who I missed, but it's fine, I just walk around him. Then I'm executing my first stealth takedown of the run, and what that means is where you switch to your fists, and if an enemy is not aware that you are behind them, then you can take them down with one punch. Okay, that guy drops a Soviet S-47, which is like a machine gun, I suppose, which is more useful for this section than trying to kill these guys with pistols. It's quite hard to hit those headshots quickly. But if you unload 3 bullets from this gun into them like that, then they die, which means that it's better to pick up. So the main aim of each level in TimeSplitters 2 is to collect the time crystal, which you're about to find located as such. And then after you've collected that, you have to escape through what's known as the time portal, which is at another location within a level. So I need to go through that door, which I just glanced at briefly, and to do that I need to open the door from that control panel. Then I'm going to lay some mines down within this cavern pathway, and it means that any enemies chasing after me are going to get blown up. Then I destroy this biohazard container with 3 of said mines, and then after it blows up, time portal opens. I don't know why I tried to split there, because my splits didn't start. Yeah, and that is Siberia. It's the first of 10 levels in this game. Each one is set within a different sort of period of time, and the weapons and the aesthetics in every level are kind of designed to reflect that. Next up is Chicago. We play as a character called Jake Fenton, which you will find out usually in that cutscene, but you can find out during the level as well. First thing I do is shoot this guy, and he'll give me a quick damage boost here, usually. He didn't this time. It's one of those rare instances. It's like marathon luck, I suppose, where he didn't give me the damage boost. I'm going to get another stealth takedown here. I need to answer this phone, and it activates the Marco objective, which is an escort mission. You have to spend about a minute defending this man here, Marco the Snitch, from 6 different enemies who are going to come from various different sides of the overarching map. So the first one is this guy. They each take 2 shots to kill, or you can kill them with 1 shot if you hit them in the head. Next guy is going to come from behind here, then there's going to be one here who I'm going to try and kill with a headshot, because I like my ammo to end in even numbers. I missed 2 shots on that guy the first time, but that's fine. Then there's one more here, and then I'm going to pick up some body armor and some more ammo, and then I'm going to do what every TimeSplitters every TimeSplitters speedrunner's favourite activity is, and play some pool. Badly. I suppose it would have been funnier if I said shoot some pool. I said that in a marathon run last week. But whatever. Anyway, so yeah, 6 out of 6 balls potted. Easy money. And then the final guy that's chasing after Marco comes from behind that newsstand. Then there's a small optimization here. When he gets close enough to the door that I'm stood in front of, he will open it. And then I want to instantly shoot him like that. And what that means is that usually when you try and walk back out of the apartment, he's going to get in your way. But if you shoot him, he leaves just enough space to the point where you can walk around him. Yeah, then I want to shoot those enemies, and what it hopefully will do is trigger them into giving me damage boosts as I walk through here. I got 1, which is better than I usually get. So the reason we had to do the Marco objective was to open that door that I just went through. He gives you the pass, which allows you to get in here. And now I'm just going to kill the boss, Big Tony. He houses the time crystal. Pretty bad boss. If you hit him in the head, he dies much quicker. I'm still trying to split, even though my time didn't start. I'm going to have to close live split in a second to resist the temptation. So yeah, the first level where there's really sort of a big deviation from things that casual players might think of is Notre Dame. This is probably one of the biggest sort of run killers when you're playing this game for PB attempts, because some of the strats here are quite inconsistent. So all of these zombies require a headshot to die, otherwise you have to hit them with about 5 body shots and it takes forever. So you're going to see me going for headshots on most of these people to get instant kills. Another aspect that you'll see is that I'm not killing every enemy in the game. It's because after you get a certain distance away from them, they just stop chasing you. Or they can't chase you fast enough to the point where they're like noticeable. So here, when you're a casual, usually you'd wait when this place blows up and you try and avoid being set on fire. But we just charge head on straight through the fire and the flames and carry on. And then usually you'd walk up to those maidens and you'd free them by pressing X, which undoes their like shackles that they're in. But when you're on fire, if you get too close to them, you can really easily set them on fire, and so it's much more consistent just to try and shoot their shackles off. It works probably about 60% of the time. A lot of the time I will end up accidentally headshotting them because of the spread fire of the shotgun. That's the last maiden. You just pull on that rope. She's like tied up above the church. Okay, now there's going to be 8 enemies that spawn in this main room, and I want to try and kill as many of them as I can whilst I'm collecting this time crystal. Oh, that was close. I hit her a couple times. This guy's in a really awkward spot. Come to me. Okay. That's 5, that's 6, 7, and 8. Even if you don't kill the final one, usually the Hunchback of Notre Dame is capable of taking care of him by himself. So you can just start running up these stairs, and hopefully the mission will complete before you walk through this archway here. This boss has the biggest hitbox in the world. You can shoot vaguely near him and it will still hit him. Very easy quick kill. You have to unload, I believe it is 18 pistol shots into him, and he just dies. Then I want to switch back to my shotgun because there's going to be 4 enemies on this rooftop. The rain realistically puts out the fire that you are on, which is a nice addition to this game in my opinion. And then there's another quick kill on the second boss in this level. Just shoot him 3 times in the head and he dies, and then we escape through the time portal, and I didn't split this time, so that was good. So now it's time for Planet X. This is the reason it's called Return to Planet X is because in the game TimeSplitters 1 there is a mission called Planet X, and this is the second showing of the world in the TimeSplitters series. So anyway, not much to say to begin with here. We just pick up that gun, jump through the hole, and then there's a few enemies that we have to kill here. It's nice to pick up their ammo because sometimes you run the risk of running out of ammo. It's very unlikely, but when you only have 120 bullets, anything can happen. But having 180 is it's a lot less scary. Yes, this is TimeSplitters 2 PRTM. So here there is a specific cycle in which we have to kill these enemies. You want to kill the 2 in the middle first, then the 1 on the left, and then the 1 on the right. There's going to be 3 waves of this, and the last 2 waves are done slightly differently. We do the 2 in the middle, then we do the 1 on the right, and then we do the 1 on the left, and we repeat that pattern for the final wave. There's another strat here that's slightly faster that involves just walking down behind where they spawn and punching them, like stealth takedown style, but it's much more inconsistent than the strat that I'm doing here, so I figure for marathon safety, because the stealth takedown strat only saves maybe like 2-3 seconds, so it's not worth messing up and losing 10-15 seconds because of it, in my opinion. So here we want to open the teleporter on that UFO, and the way to do that is to kill 8 enemies on this beach. Like so. Then a few more are gonna try and ruin our day, so we can just take some pot shots at them. This is where the teleporter is gonna beam us up any second. There we go. And then the time crystal is on this side, and the time portal will open on the other side of the ship. And that is the end of the 4th level. Now is probably the biggest sort of downtime in the run, I suppose, Neo Tokyo. Interesting tidbit about Neo Tokyo, it's set in the year 2019, and this is exactly how we all predicted Tokyo would look in the year 2019. I think they really had the world cracked back in 2002. So I'll just explain what I'm doing quickly. If you ever played this game casually, I think you'll be quite shocked at how easy this level actually is, because it tripped a lot of people up casually. Usually you have to follow that woman that we saw at the very beginning, all the way back here, but we can just hide behind this box. We have to stay hidden from her, otherwise the objective fails. You have to tail her back to get into her base, but it's stupidly easy to just hide from her here on easy mode. So if there are any donations that have come in since the start of the run, this is probably the most opportune time you'll have to read them.
Unfortunately, it looks like no. We haven't seen any donations so far. However, I can take this time to plug the next incentive, which is coming up just a few runs from now. During Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Viper is willing to do the perfect run if we get enough money.
Oh, that's so cool.
The run of Galaxy 2. It's currently at $30 out of the 40 it needs to be met, so just $10 away, and we'll be seeing that at the end of Galaxy 2. That run's only in like 2.5-ish hours, but that run is pretty long, so you have a little bit of time, but I wouldn't dally.
Yeah, no, that incentive is really, really cool. If nobody else does, I might put the $10 towards it myself. I really want to see that. I remember the run at SGDQ, and he did it first try, and it was really quite impressive. Definitely something you want to see if you're a fan of Mario Galaxy 2. Yeah, no. Today has a lot of good runs that you should definitely catch. I'm definitely going to be hanging around for a while afterwards. Octopath Traveler, great speed game. Luigi's Mansion, Mario Galaxy 2, One Shot. Some really solid speed games. Anyway, so the hacker has made it here. And now we just have to follow her back into her base. She's going to open up a laser wall that only she can get past. And we're going to sneak into her base behind her. Some TimeSplitters 2 speedrunners, they like to hide underneath this this bridge made of a metal sheet here. And she also won't detect you, but it's slightly more inconsistent than hiding behind the box. I usually get caught when I hide behind there. So I tend to just play it safe and hide behind the box that you saw me hiding behind. So the next thing I have to do here, she's going to input her password on a computer further up the hall. And the next objective is to find out her password. So I'm going to activate this camera. You can soft lock on there if you stand too far back. I have a theory on why that happens, but I don't really have enough time to explain it. So I don't know. If you're really invested, maybe just send me a DM and I'll explain how it works. So here she's going to enter her password, which activates a door within the same room. But because we kill this person, she's going to then become aware of us. And the door here will just remain open. Get another stealth takedown onto that character. And then we want to deactivate this machine with a time splitter contained in it. And then this character here houses the time crystal. She starts running as soon as you shoot her hat off. So the aim is to do that. And then if you just punch her in the back a few times, she will die. Yeah, you can quite often get back boosted by that character, and it is really hard to hit the headshot on them. Two different enemies here that will block you, so yeah, good headshots. Those are quite difficult to hit, but I'm very practiced. I was hoping for maybe a damage boost there, but to no avail. And yeah, that's Neo Tokyo. So we're about halfway through the run at this point. Next, immediately following the longest level in the game, which is due to it being an auto-scroller with only 50 seconds of variable gameplay, we immediately come to the shortest level in the game. In terms of actual gameplay, it's about 1 minute and 15 seconds long, and you'll see why. If you've ever played this game before, I'm going to do things very differently to how you would do them in a casual playthrough. So usually you'd have to walk back around there with some gunpowder and lead a trail to blow up this cart behind this jail cell. But if you just shoot this 4 times, which I missed 1 shot, which is fine. If you shoot it 5 times, it just blows up. And also, usually you'd have to walk up into this barn to put out the fire, but you can shoot the water barrels from down on ground level, and it will still put out the fire. So that's another optimization. And then there is one more optimization, which is, I'd say I probably get it about 80% of the time. I do mess it up occasionally and cost some runs, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I have been practicing this level a little bit to try and make sure I do hit it. So that guy that was just talking in a very Texan accent, he's the boss of this level, and you can get a quick kill standing here. He's going to run out of this building, and I'm going to start shooting at him, and yeah, he's dead. And then there's some swag we can do here. I am going to go for it because it's a marathon. So yeah, you jump through the time portal and then you die. It looks kind of cool, and it still counts as the mission completing. I have no fear. So now we come to one of my personal favourite levels. It's probably one of the hardest in the speedrun, but casually this level was really entertaining. It's kind of a parody of James Bond. You play as a character called Harry Tipper, and you have to stop some evil genius called Kalos from, I don't know, blowing up the world or something. So there are 4 bombs that are set to go off and blow this entire base up. And what we have to do is we have to activate these scientist characters to defuse the bomb. Bames Nond. I could not have put it better myself, Laurie. And then we also have to defeat Kalos because he's the guy that holds the time crystal in this level. We do this corridor in a very specific way. We have to first headshot that guy so as to not alert this guy. Then we have to shoot that guy in the back to alert the next 2 guys, and then headshot them. And then I pick up the dual silence pistols and I open this door. I don't know why that gave me so much trouble. And then I want to kill everyone in this corridor and the 1 sniper up here. And then this is the hardest thing to do in the entire run, putting out this fire. I don't know why, but it just doesn't want to go out sometimes. There we go, that wasn't too bad. I want to kill everyone in this corridor because I need to maintain maximum health. And then, so here's why I picked up the body armor earlier. It's because usually you turn off the steam that's spraying all around this room, which is very quickly killing me, you'll notice. But if you have enough health and body armor, you can just put that bomb in the container without having to worry too much about turning off the steam, which kills you. Pick up another fire extinguisher here to put out this next fire, which will open the fire door. This one I'm a little bit better at putting out than the first one, but it can still troll you sometimes. Again, it's pretty nice. Another character up here. If you're a bit lower than I was on health, then that guy, he has definitely killed a few of my runs before. I've been 1 shot away from death. Then I want to kill these 2 guys, open this door which takes forever to open, and activate this guy to defuse the final bomb, which means we've completed the objective of defusing all the bombs. Now we just have to turn off this main reactor core, which is going to be through here, and defeat Kalos and pick up the time crystal. So there are 3 switches that we have to pull. And he delivers some very, very James Bond villain-esque lines that I wanted to be quiet for. So yeah, time crystal, time portal. Easy. That was a very good Atom Smasher. I think that's the best one I've had since I've come back to this game. So now we move on to Aztec Ruins, another really good level, which is only slightly spoiled by the fact that it's the only level in the game that has any meaningful RNG that can cost you time. I have lost many a PB pace run to RNG on this level. It's probably the only sort of drawback of running this game, in my opinion, is the fact that sometimes you can't really do anything. If you're a fan of monkeys, I suggest maybe you take 2 minutes to go and get a drink or something, because I'm going to be killing quite a few of them here. So the first thing I want to ideally do here is I want to pick up the crossbow. It's a 1-shot kill on every enemy. And hopefully what's going to happen is I'm going to walk through this this maze. I know where I'm going, luckily. And what's going to happen is when I turn this corner, I'm going to headshot this guy, which took me 3 tries. It's a shame. Usually I get that first try. And then I get the crossbow, which can then one-shot this guy. Crossbow is a very useful weapon. Actually more powerful than most guns that contain gunpowder. Weird that. I guess they really were ahead of their time back in the 1920s. So that opens the door, which allows me to enter the Lost Temple. You see it opening in the top right corner there. Now all I have to do is just make it there. And what I have to do there is I have to kill 3 stone golems. And they are immune to my bullets. So I have to try and lure them into, like, death pits. And if I walk into any of those death pits, it's an insta-kill for me as well. I've only lost about 3 runs to that, but it is possible. Usually I should avoid it. We don't know if this is good RNG yet. We're about to find out. So I pick up the time crystal here. And he's walked over the pit. That's good. That's a good start. And then this guy... Ah, we got the bad RNG. So every time they, like, pound on the ground like that, it costs 3 to 5 seconds, and that's the RNG time loss. If I get 1, then it's pretty good. Any more is bad. So that was a very good Aztec Ruins. No complaints. Ideally, in a PB pace run, you want no ground pounds, but taking 1 in a marathon run, like I said, only costs 3 to 5 seconds, so it's really not a big deal. So now we're coming up on the penultimate level, which is Robot Factory. This is probably one of the hardest levels for a casual player. But for someone as experienced as I am, someone who's played this game 1,700 times, it's not such a big deal. I'm just hoping that I don't get stuck anywhere, because that can be very costly. This level on hard mode, though, is really hard. I've only beaten it once. I'm actually getting a little bit nervous, because even though I'm not looking like I don't have a timer running, I know this is a really good run. So usually you'd have to rush a rail bot through that wall, that laser wall, but you can just walk through it and tank the damage on easy mode. It doesn't work on normal or hard. Okay, I didn't get stuck here, that's good. That's the first hurdle crossed. I've had runs legitimately lost to being stuck on all 5 of those robots for like a minute. Not a minute, but like 6 seconds, which is enough to kill a PB in quite an optimized run. That robot we just walked by can sometimes damage boost me. I got 1. That's better than none, I suppose. Usually you want to get 2 or 3, but that's fine. So I've got a lot of robots chasing after me right now, so ideally what I want to do is I want to try and kill as many of them as I can. I want to shoot this guy, because sometimes he can give me a quick damage boost walking through here. Didn't happen. Not to worry. Shoot down this rail bot, because sometimes he can back boost you. And then I pick up the Electro tool, which is going to help me to overload the 4 energy nodes in this level, of which this is the first one. And it's going to spawn 4 enemies, which you have to kill to open a laser wall. I don't know which one is which, so I'm just going to try and kill all of them. Hopefully I got him. Yeah, I did. Cool. And then the second one is going to be in this corridor. Pick up the recharge of the Electro tool and switch back to this plasma auto rifle. Then, again, like I said, there's a lot of enemies chasing after me right now, so everyone that I meet from here on out, I am going to be attempting to kill. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm activating the crane in a room I'm about to go into, and then I'm activating this node here. There's a wall protecting it. And there we go. That's the penultimate energy node. Then I want to kill this bot up here because he drops the laser gun, which is the weapon I'm going to use in this main room. And then I want to overload this final energy node. Pick up his laser gun, and then there's 10 enemies in this room I have to kill. Sorry, this is heavy focus time. So yeah, you have to kill all of those enemies to open the laser wall there. And this has been a really solid robot factory. There's a quick kill in this main room here that I'm going to go for. You use this gun to ricochet the bullets off in this guy's pit. And it kills him really quickly. It's much better than the old strat we had, which was picking up the plasma grenades and then shooting 6 onto his chest. That took much more time. It ended up saving us like something ridiculous, like 10 seconds. When that was discovered, I believe it was 2.5 years ago. Might have been slightly longer than that now. And then we picked up the time crystal, and yeah, that is Robot Factory. So now we're coming up to the final level, which is a level called Space Station. Here we're not collecting a new time crystal, we're simply picking up the 9 time crystals we've already collected and trying to escape from this space station, also blowing it up and hopefully wiping out all of the time splitters. I'm just going to take a quick drink. My throat was going. Alright, so yeah, those are the time crystals all picked up. Now we have to activate the self-destruct sequence on the space station by pressing these 3 self-destruct consoles. There's a slight optimization here. I'm going to walk next to that door, and what it does is it starts opening the door. So when I walk back up, the door is already open and I don't have to wait for it to open. It's like a 1-second optimization, but I just think it's really cool that we have stuff like that in this game. I've never had a time splitter spawn in front of me there. So we jump down that elevator shaft because it's faster than waiting and we can take the damage. It's going to be alright. And yeah, get ready for my personal favourite SS4C meme. Usually, we're about to go into outer space, and usually you'd want to pick up a spacesuit before you go into outer space. I'm sure if anyone's seen Total Recall, you'll understand why that's a good idea. But I don't really have time. So you're going to hear this noise the whole time I'm out here. So I know exactly where these spaceships are going to spawn. If we didn't shoot them down, then they'd shoot me down on my escape from the space station. So this is why we're doing this. In the first time I ever ran this game for SS4C back in, God, I think it was 2015. I couldn't capture game audio, and so for this section, because I didn't want people to miss out on the glorious noises that Cortez is making here, I simulated them using my own voice, and yeah, it wasn't fantastic. There certainly have been nicer things to listen to. So this is the final ship that's going to spawn here. And now all we have to do is just escape from the space station. We're quite low on health at this point, so ideally another objective would be to not die. I got back boosted quite a bit there, but that's not a big deal. So it's still a very solid run. It's probably one of the best runs I've done. Definitely in a marathon, and maybe ever. I feel like I haven't made any major mistakes. There were just a few minor hiccups on a couple levels. So we call this elevator because we can't jump down that shaft like the first one. It's a lot longer, and also we're a lot lower on health than we were that time. Pick up the minigun and some body armor. Now we're basically guaranteed not to die, as long as I don't jump off the elevator too early. So we want to get on top of the elevator here, and I'm going to try and line up a clip that looks kind of cool. I didn't get it. Okay, so sometimes when you stand on the edge of that elevator, you can clip like slightly out of the space station and you can look into outer space. It doesn't do anything, but it looks kind of cool. Time is coming up very shortly, by the way. It's when I get into my spaceship, which is when I jump off of here now. Perfect timing. And time. So we don't measure this game using real time because there is an in-game timer, and it makes more sense. It allows for people to play on different consoles. 33:51. That's better than any time I got in my practice. The best time I got in practice was a 33:55. My understanding of that is that that should be a 27:46, ideally. 27:46 in-game time, that means. It's not my new PB, no. My PB is in real time is a 33:16, and in game time is a 27:11. So we're going to check what my game time was quickly, and it was 27:45. So that's my best ever marathon run, and the second time I've ever got a 27 in a marathon. I've done probably 20 plus marathon runs of this game, and that's the second time I got a 27. So I came into this, like I said, last year I was really, really worried, or last year I was really, really ashamed of how poorly my run went. I didn't practice at all, I didn't take it seriously, I was really, really upset with like how I made this game look. And this time I've come into it and I've put on my best performance, which was what I was really hoping for. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I'm really, really glad that I could put on a good showing of this game. Yeah, only
really good, man.
Only 3 other people have times faster than this, so I'm going to take it. And yeah, thank you for having me. Make sure you stick around to watch Octopath Traveler, because Laurie is literally the greatest human being on Earth. And that's all from me.
Alright, well, thank you. Yeah, so that was a really good run, so huge shout out to the round. But we're going to go set up for Octopath Traveler with me, the host, so stay tuned. Of course, that means there's going to be a host change, because I can't host and run at the same time, but you get the point.